We can have camp today. We are. Who won't give a damn about the Alamo? Right. Who gives a damn about the white man's losses? That's why the world will rejoice when we are in the Lord. Right. And the center of the rulers.
The truth of the matter is that you, the white man, have painted yourself as Jesus Christ.
Right.
No more of the evil and the crimes that we learned from your people. And guess what? The more and more we change and become righteous, which we're doing today, teaching the love that we're teaching the righteousness that we're teaching, the more that you're going to fall be back in a position of a servant.
Right.
Because I never seen love for black people. I never seen love for Native Indians.
Right.
I never seen kindness for these people.
Right.
I never seen all of the good things you just said. I never seen them for black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So all of that heartwarming stuff that you're talking about is not applied in the barrios and the reservation.
Right.
All of the stuff that you're talking about does not apply to the ghettos of America.
I understand you guys have been hanging out here for I don't know how long, and things have changed. The Alamos kind of taken over the territory.
Because the last thing we want to do is have an officer get called out here who's not informed and act on something and get himself in trouble. Absolutely. Right? We're gonna make sure we speak to the whole shift about it and everybody knows the legality of what's going on in Alamo Plaza, because obviously it's a little bit disorganized from what they want as to what is on paper.
Once again, just undefeated when the Lord on your side. You know what I mean? The man in General Your Honor raised up real revolutionaries and right and know what to fight for and how to fight.
All right. On sign Christ. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham. Yahweh Shemaratham Hashem Yahushai. This is the Isupk. It started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York in 1969 under commanding General Yohanan. And we're here to teach the truth of the Bible, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, their real culture, language, and everything regarding the Bible and who they are. Our identity is found all throughout the scriptures, but it is our people that have been far removed from our true identity. So much so that we no longer have our own language. We don't know our own culture. And that's what these classes are designed to do. These classes are designed to bring us back to the reality of who we are. And we got to come back to that. Shalom, you have a shashutah. We got to come back to the reality of who we are so that we can finally wake up as a nation. Today's class is called Hebrew Blues. Because a lot of people out here stressing and things like that. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to go into a couple of scriptures in the book of Psalm that really hone in on the theme of trying to pull through the struggles that we go through. One thing that is for certain is we've been going through the Psalm chapters as we were breaking it down in the Hebrew. We're seeing that those same lyrics that were said all those years ago, we're talking about thousands of years ago at this point, right? How these things have definitely resonate with still what we're going through today. So it just goes to show that this is a process that all of us have been going through even from before. And that's why the scripture says that the things that were written before time were written for our learning, because we're supposed to be learning from these things so that we can use the scriptures to calm ourselves whenever situations arise that cause us to have harm, cause us to feel any type of way. Now, the Hebrew blues I'm talking about specifically is going to be in the book of, let me get that right quick. You're going to find in Psalm chapter 25, okay? Psalm chapter 25. I'm probably going to just erase what's on the board here because I want to have as much room as possible and see if I can get through a couple of these verses here. So a lot of quick, heavy verses. So Psalm definitely sticks with that. Let me write that right here. So Psalm 25. We'll see how it goes, but we're going to start at verse 17, okay? And of course, before we do, well, actually, I want to jump straight into the Hebrew. So again, the way that we do that is just like during the Sabbath service. What we do is we log into the Bible Hub app. The Bible Hub app is where you're going to find it in the interlinear version, okay? Psalm chapter 25. We'll go ahead and get that right here. And I'm going to start writing in Hebrew on the board. We're going to see a whole lot of verses here in Hebrew on the board today. So Psalm chapter 25 and starting at verse 17. Okay. This is gonna be a good one, y'all. Check this out. So let's start off with the first word. The first word is Tazawarath. Tazawarath. So I'm gonna write that here on the board here. Tazawarath. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and practice writing it on the board first, and then we'll read it, and then we'll break it down. So you'll get the breakdown, you'll get the understanding by the end of this class today. Tazarawaf, la babya. Next word is la bab ya. It's crazy. I've gotten so used to seeing it in the Assyrian and just writing it in the Lashon Kodash. La bab ya. Lababya. So far we got Tazarawanth, Lababya. All right. Next is Harak Yabawa. Sounds complicated. It's not that complicated. Harak Yahweh. All right. So far we got Tazarawath, Lababya, Harach Yabwa. That actually sounds like it rhymes. It's crazy. But the Hebrew, remember, these are songs, and I'm assuming that us back in the day also made music that rhymed just like today. We're just using a whole different alphabet and language, and this is why it's an incredible thing for us to come back to the Hebrew so that we could see how we say things back then and what they mean and how deep the meaning is of the words that we spoke all those years ago as a people. Next phrase is, let me get this bit by bit here. Ma taza wa kwa wathia. Let me break this down bit by bit. So ma taza wa kwa. Ma taza wa kwa. Ma taza wa kwa wathia. That's probably one of the most difficult phrases I've ever seen so far in the Hebrew. Somebody was spitting when they wrote that. It's ma taza wa kwa wathia. Ma taza wa kwa wathia. We'll get that down here in a minute. Let's keep moving. Next up is ha wa taza ya anya. Definitely some lyricism going on right here. This is why I like the book of Psalms, because you start to see people really expound and use the full vocabulary of the Hebrew. Okay. So ha-rach. Ha-rach Yabwa. No, that's the wrong phrase. I'm looking at the wrong one. Hold on. Hawa Taza Ya Anya. I get the root word here. Ya Taza Wa Taza. Yeah, it's got some complicated Hebrew going on. I see you in the all black warrior. Hey, you got a notebook or something to write in?
Yeah.
Most high Christ. Yeah. We're gonna do some practicing today.
That's exactly what I'm trying to hurry up and do.
Most high Christ. Let me see if I can get through this because these are some complicated words in this verse here.
I
But
like these.
I like it too. But
Hey,
these
you know
particular.
where they got me? Salakia, brother.
Go ahead.
The word holy tongue.
Yeah.
The power. Man, come on.
That's
Did I
right
say
here.
it again.
That's what this is right here.
Holy tongue. Do we know it, man? When your car told me, hey, bro, that's the holy tongue, that shit struck me. Like, learn it.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That's heavy, bro. Just in itself right there.
Go to
Let me get
go to the Apocrypha and go to
Apocrypha and what, brother?
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll run to the pen. Hold on.
Go ahead and get that while I'm writing this on the board here, because we got some. There's some stuff going on in this verse. Just you'll see what I'm talking about. It's gonna be crazy. All right, I'm gonna go into the next verse.
Ecclesiasticus, what?
Ecclesiastic is not. It's before the chapter
You need
starts.
me on the mic? No.
Yeah, you can go ahead and grab one. Do we have batteries in them right now?
Yeah. I don't know. Not they're just probably out here.
Yeah, it's to be turned on. Yeah, probably 1 second, y'all.
Yeah, let me get a pen too.
You get a chance. See if that mic. See if that. Hold on. Let's see. Testing 1, 2. Test. Mic check. There you go. There you go. Mic check. All right. This is a brand new notebook or what?
Yeah.
You about to put a whole lot of stuff in that notebook.
Yes, sir. That's what I got.
You could title this class Hebrew Blues.
Hebrew blues.
Yeah. Hebrew Blues or Ancient Hebrew Blues, if you want. All right, let's keep going now. Now go ahead and read. You don't have to read the entirety of it, but you know what? You could. When you get Ecclesiastes, get it in the physical apocrypha.
Get it in the physical apocrypha.
Yeah, because it's gonna have a paragraph or so before you actually get to reading the actual chapter. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's before chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, look at the preface before you start the chapter.
Ecclesiasticus. The wisdom of the son of Sirach.
Yeah, you see that little chapter, that little paragraph before you get into
Where
it?
it says the prologue made by an uncertain author.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
So it reads a prologue made by an uncertain author. This Yahushai was the son of Sirach.
This was
This
different.
Jesus,
Yeah, this is because that's a name. You know what I mean? A lot of people could have the name Judah. People could have all types of names. But this is a man that was named
Jesus.
Yeah, but he
so
was.
It's not Yahushai, right?
Right, because this was before Christ was even born.
Okay.
Because the Apocrypha takes place before the New Testament. Takes
Yes.
place during in between the Old and New Testament.
Okay.
So this is somebody that wrote Ecclesiasticus.
Okay.
And so the person that's writing about it is kind of like giving you a heads up about what you're about to read when you read the book of Ecclesiasticus. But he makes some pretty interesting points. So go ahead and read what he has to say there.
It says, this Jesus was the son of Sirach and grandchild of Jesus of the same name with him.
Mm-hmm.
This man therefore lived in the latter times after the people had been led away captive and called home again, and almost after all the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
Now his grandfather Jesus, as he himself witnesseth, was a man of great diligence and wisdom among the Hebrews, who did not only gather the grave and short sentences of wise men that had been before him.
So what is important about books like Psalms, Proverbs, where he says quick sentences, he's talking about wise sayings, wise phrases, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he's like dropping knowledge on you, it's like an OG that's getting ready to, drop a game on the young cats.
A little verse.
Yeah. But this was from the perspective of one of the YNs that was learning from the OGs, who eventually became that wise man himself because of him retaining all the things that he learned. So what are some of the other things that it says there?
It says, now his grandfather, Jesus, as he himself witnessed, was a man of great diligence and wisdom among the Hebrews, who did not only gather the great and short sentences of wise men that had been before him, but himself also uttereth some of his own. He uttered some of his own, full of much understanding and wisdom.
So the whole point of why anybody comes into the truth is to learn as much as they can. Gather up that info, take good notes. Taking good notes is for me, that's so important because I'm terrible at remembering stuff. And it's taking a lot of just repetitive like studying and stuff. But the point is, you want to get to the point where you can add to it, not by anything that's outside the doctrine, but understanding the wisdom of those that come before you so that you have the ability to add to it when you do speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the scripture always talks about how even when a fool is silent, he is wise. Like there's always scriptures that kind of revolve around that, but wisdom really is being able to say the right thing when you're applying knowledge. So that's what he's done. He's gathering all of this wisdom, and then Ecclesiasticus is him saying it. But there's a little bit more in there. Keep going. I know there's like 2 big paragraphs there, but you don't see it.
It says, when as therefore the first Jesus died, leaving his book almost perfected, Sirach, his son, receiving it after him, led it to his own son Jesus, who having gotten it into his hands, complied it all orderly into one volume, and called it wisdom.
That's the name of Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus is a term that means wisdom.
That means wisdom. Okay. And then this word right here, I'm having trouble saying it. It says intituling.
Is it?
Intituling.
Okay, yeah.
Intituling. I'm gonna have to.
That's fine.
Come back and see what that word means.
Yeah.
Intituling it both by his own name, his father's name, and his grandfather's, alluring the hearer by the very name of wisdom to have a greater love to the study of this book. Okay. It containeth therefore wise sayings, dark sentences, and parables, and certain particular ancient godly stories of men that please God. Also with his prayer and song, moreover, what benefits God had vouchsafed his people, and what plagues he had heaped on their enemies. This Jesus did imitate Solomon, who was no less famous for wisdom and learning, both being indeed a man of great learning, and so reputed also.
Keep going.
And then it says the prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach.
Okay.
Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be condemned for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without, both by speaking and writing. My grandfather Jesus, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself. Salakia.
You good.
To write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law.
That's Oh, that's a heavy point because
Yes, sir.
because he's saying that everything that they learned from the Old Testament, and mind you, this is a period of time where when that was written, wasn't in Hebrew.
It wasn't in Hebrew.
But the law that they learned from was in Hebrew. So he's adding to the knowledge base of the law, but just life lessons and stories. And that's what Ecclesiastes talks
in Greek or what?
I believe it could have been, Greek or something like that. Usually it's Hebrew, Greek, and Latin that the Bible was written in. Hebrew being the Old Testament primarily. Some of the Apocrypha could have been in Hebrew as well, though. And that's why he's going to tell you that how important it is for the Hebrew. So keep going.
Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us where we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret.
See, that this is heavy because you know what he's about to say right now is so important. So keep going.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
Read that again.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
That's why the holy tongue is more powerful than regular speech. It's because the things that are said in English, I could tell you something in English, but when I say the same thing in Hebrew, it means it's more powerful. And that's what you're going to learn when you read. When we go into this today, don't worry about the alphabet. We'll get to that. But today what we want to do is we want to practice writing these characters. We're going to write this down on your notes. But when you do, you want to leave a space. Like, you know how you got a line here, then a space, and then a line here? Don't write them line and then right after that a line. Give it some space in between.
And then write it.
Yeah, and you're going to skip every other line. Because when we break this down, you're going to see just from 2, maybe 3 verses, just how heavy the Hebrew is when it breaks down. And what we translated to English, it's like, okay, but when we read it in the Hebrew, it's like it has a whole different force behind it. And you're going to see that today in this class. So you're good on that. Was there any more on that paragraph? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
It says, I'll start again. From the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the book have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language.
Yeah.
For in the 8th and 13th year coming into Egypt, when Yergetes was king, and continuing there some time, I found a book of no small learning. Therefore, I taught it most necessarily for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it, using great watchfulness and skill in that space to bring the book to an end, and set it forth to them also which in a strange country are willing to learn.
That's us here. So
That's
he's talking
right now.
Yeah, and even back then, because back then we had to be dealing with these other nations where our people were scattered across, right? Now we're considered Gentiles or Hellenists or people that are part of America. We're Mexican, we're Spanish, well, not Spanish, but we're talking about we're Latinos and Hispanics, and we're Brazilian, and we're Colombian, all these different things. But coming back to this is so much more important than even just like when we think we learn in the Bible. You learn the Bible in English, like the scripture says, and then you want to take things an even deeper step, going into the language in the Hebrew. Now, one of the things is our enemies will always be quick to try to say, well, y'all Hebrew Israelites, y'all don't know Hebrew. We're learning it, and it's going to make us even more difficult to deal with on these streets, because now we're going to have our language, and that's a weapon. You see, what the white man has done is he's used language as a weapon. So even just learning Hebrew is one of the most revolutionary things you could do, because while basically the white man's used English as his hoe, tilling the ground and embedding himself in every society where English is spoken, where Spanish is spoken, where German and French and all these different languages that he uses to divide and conquer, right? So what if there was a language where all of our people can unify together again? And it deletes all of the advantages of us having to have been brought under their captivities and learning their languages and being limited to our ability to pray to the Lord at the full force of our original language. So that's why I'm saying Hebrew is so important, and you'll see why. Because you're gonna, like I said, it's gonna explain itself as it goes. It's like one of those things where it's like you'll see what I'm talking about as we keep going. You know what I'm saying? Was there any more on that? Wow, sure.
I think I was in being prepared before in manners to live after the law. Did I say that? Well, let me start from the top.
Yeah, good. That you talking about that second paragraph?
Yeah, that little last. It's a last little.
Okay, go ahead.
Part right here.
That's fine.
I thought it most necessary for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it, using great watchfulness and skill in that space to bring the book to an end and set it forth to them also, which in a strange country are willing to learn, being prepared before in manners to live after the law.
That's it. So coming back to the law and coming back to our culture is something that not a lot of people are willing to do. But them brothers, they went through the effort to make Ecclesiasticus and all the different books of the Bible. So we have to then appreciate that by then coming back and learning it so that we can come back to the law. Because ultimately, it's the law that we need to learn more of, and we don't know enough of it. We know some of it. We might know the 10 Commandments. We might know, okay, now I'm learning about the Sabbath. Now I'm learning about the dietary laws. Now I'm learning about the ceremonies and things like that. And so the spirit behind it that keeps you locked in is knowing how it's like we're the last line of defense of this knowledge being kept on the earth, where now we when you're even just you learning it becomes such a huge responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so rare for this wisdom to actually exist. There's a lot of people that read the Bible. It's like one of the most popular books ever, right? But they don't get it, the truth of it. And so when he's talking about getting the understanding of it, coming back to the original language, getting the deeper meanings of it, it doesn't even need to be seen as it being deep, rather than it's just coming correct, like coming more and more correct as we continue to move forward and to practice the law and all this. So the language is a huge part of that. Now, we're going to go to Psalm chapter 25 and verse 17, and we're going to start translating this. And when we do, we're going to do it word for word. So I would say go to the, you download the Bible Hub app. In the Bible Hub app, you could have it ready on there in the interlinear version, but we're going to start reading it, and then we're going to start translating it. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, the first word is Tazarawath. So let's kind of like practice reading it. And these are some really complicated characters. So even I'm going to struggle with this because this is new vocabulary, and I like learning new vocabulary words. So you got Tazarawath, Lababya, Harach Yabwa. So we got Tazarawath, Lababya, Harach Yabwa. Okay. Then you got this crazy phrase right here. Mama Tazawakwa. Mama Tazawakwasya. This right here actually is joined. Mama Tazawakwasya.
What are those symbols that you're putting on the bottom?
This is to help you pronounce the characters. So first thing you want to learn, and again, we'll
character first.
Right. Taza, Ra, Wa, and Tha. But when you have the little frowny under it, you pronounce it by itself. When you see these connected together, you'll start with this pronunciation and end with this pronunciation. So instead of Wa and Tha, it's Wath. So it's Tazara Wath. Same thing with this one. La, there's the character ba. There's another character ba, and ya. Instead of saying la ba ba ya, it's la ba ya. You see what the connector does? The connector joins them two together so that you start with one phrase, one character, and end with the next. Ha, ra, cha, ya, ba, wa. With the connectors, it's ha, rach, ya, wa. You see what I'm saying? So that starts to get more and more easier to deal with once you start remembering the root words. The root words are the base vocabulary from them. Okay. So Tazarawah, Lababia, Harach Yabwa. Then it's Mama Tazawak Wafya. It's very complicated. Don't worry about trying to know all the characters yet. But I will highly recommend to write this down. So you want to definitely write this down as you see it in front. These characters, think of them like all caps. They're not really drawn very small, but you definitely want to try to leave space in between each line because I'm gonna actually
just writing them itself.
Yeah. Taza looks like a line with a Z connected to it, coming out the side of it, right? Ra,
Like a T and a Z.
Taza, yeah. Ra, Wath. You know, it's funny. Wa sounds like Y, and it looks like a Y, right?
It's like you're gonna say why? Why?
Mm-hmm. Wa, and it looks, but what it is a hook or a fastener. That's what that wa means. It means to join, just like nails, like when you're doing construction. You'll use fasteners and all types of bolts and things like that. Wa, that's what wa means. So taza rawath, and the tha already looks like a T. Right?
Like a slanted T.
Mm-hmm. Like a slanted T, almost like it's I don't want to say a cross because it's
no, it's a slanted.
It's not really like an X because this side is longer than the other side. So think of like an X, but one side does come out, and so that keeps you in the right mindset when you're writing it. But it's almost like a T that's tipping over, and it's pronounced tha. Okay. And we'll start doing that word by word. If anything, you'll be able to write this down and then leave some space above it so that we can write down the actual translation. So, hey, your call. Hey, you gotta be in here too, man.
I was trying to figure something out.
Tazarawah, which means this is, and here's the thing. In the interlinear version in the app, when you go in there, there's a number above each phrase. That number takes you to the root word that gives you the definition of the phrase. And then all the characters on the outside and inside of it, we'll deal with that when we get to it. But the main thing right here, Tazarah, which is basically these two characters right here, Tazarawath. The root word Tazah means tightness or transivity, which means affliction. Basically means affliction. Okay. Oh, my bad. It means adversary, affliction, tribulation. So what it's saying is the troubles. And then I'm going to underline the root word. Well, you'll see I have it bracketed right here. So Tazarawath. Tazarawath, the troubles. Okay. The wath is added to the end, and you'll see some of these rules right here. This is something that we'll have more of. I have this. This never leaves the board. This top left side, this never leaves the board right here. And also the title too. But the reason why is because you have these rules that are used and you're adding characters to the end or the beginning. Prepositions are added at the beginning of the phrase. Possessive adjectives are added at the other side of the phrase. And we see right here, wath, yam, and yan are phrases that make it plural. So tazara means trouble. Tazara wath makes it plural. So that's why it says the troubles with the S at the end when we translate it to English. But this troubles also can be seen as affliction. What did I say? distress. The distress. Lababia. Lababia. Labab. The word labab means heart. Okay? Boom. Labab. This right here, labab, means heart.
Lababia means your heart, right?
Exactly. Because when you add, here, check it out, possessive adjectives, when you add a ya at the end, it means my, me, or who. Okay? So it says lababia, which means my heart. It says the stress in my heart. Okay? So read from what we got so far. Tazarawah. Lababia. Says the stress of my heart. This is a prayer, by the way. Not only when you write these, like when we do in these classes, these are prayers like what we do during the Sabbath service. These are prayers that you actually can practice and learn on your own. And say when you pray to the Most High, you can literally read this in the Hebrew and it'll have more force than when you pray in English.
That's what I really like about what it said in here. It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself has it's stronger when you read it, or when you
because okay, so all right.
But not only these things, but the law itself.
Do you know
the
what?
prophets and the rest of the books?
Do you know how? Let me explain.
Spoken in their own language.
How is it that Christ was able to refrain from sin, but we aren't in today's time? Did God make him any different than us?
No.
But what did he have that we don't have? Our language.
Right.
That's why the law is more powerful when it's in Hebrew. That's why your spirit becomes more powerful when you start practicing the Hebrew, because now you're actually awakening a side of yourself that has more control over your spirit.
Right.
That's why it's called the Holy Tongue. Because now you're going to start taking command over any demons that come across you, because you'll be reminded of the law constantly, because your mind starts to become the scriptures.
Connected to the law.
Like the Bible will override your mind. That's what washing of the water of the word is.
Right.
It starts to override all of the shit that's trying to attack you. And that's why it starts off like this, because they knew this even back then, even when we had the language. How much harder is it for us now? We don't even have the language. It was an everyday thing. We took it for granted. We thought the Holy Tongue was just some, we just day and day. Just like a girl, you give a girl something, right? You feed her all the time, and she starts to forget about all the stuff that you did for her. The moment that you're not doing anything for her, then she wants to break up and do all this different stuff to you, right? Going behind your back. I'm going off topic. What I'm saying is that what we do is we don't understand exactly what the Lord gave us when he gave us the Holy Tongue.
Right.
But the fact is we can come in and we can learn this, and now we can actually see, oh, wait, hold up. There's something going on here. This ain't regular. There's 2 people in this classroom right now and maybe some people online. And there's 8 billion, 9 billion people on earth. And you're one of the few people that God chose to learn this language. Do you understand how crazy that is? You could win the lottery 3 times in a row. You won't be as lucky as you are to be here learning this. Because the Bible said, we saw the proof.
Right.
We know that it's true when it says this language is more powerful. But what we need to do is we need to then take that understanding, show more appreciation for our language. And once we do that, there's a whole level of this understanding of the truth that we're about to unlock as we go into the next phase of our people's awakening. And you'll be at the spearhead of that. Okay. So again, the first 2 words of this whole entire, I'm going to do 3 verses today. It says the troubles of my heart. Now you got some crazy phrases right here. Harach wab, something like it. Harach yab wa, or something like that. So let me get to that. My heart, this also can be translated to mean my mind, because we know the heart in this particular phrase is not talking about your actual heart, but your mind, because that's where the stress is at. But even and that's why the scriptures are so parallel, because it's literally your mind and it's literally your heart as well. because the stress gives our people heart problems. The stress gives our people high blood pressure because it just weighs on us so heavily. So it makes so much sense that the heart and the mind are likely interchangeable when we read it in Hebrew because it considers it one and the same. You see what I'm saying? That's why you could be so attached to a woman and your mind is always on making sure that she's taken care of and all that. But if something happens to her, your heart, literally, you feel pain in your heart, right? So the heart and mind are kind of like in the Hebrew, it covers it all in one word. And that's what we people do in the language. We always say, we use the word bread or cheese.
Right.
And it can mean multiple things.
Right.
It can mean money, it can mean food, right? But we do the same thing with our language too. So lababya means heart or mind. Then we got this one right here. This is it's charak yabwa. Rachab is the root word. So rachab, yeah. So it's rachayab, yeah. Harachayab. It could be rachayab, but I want to say it's rachab. Yeah, it's rachayab. Okay, so we got that. This right here means enlarge or extends. Okay, so what it's saying is enlarged or grown. So you got stress that's growing. Okay. So it's ha-ra-ha-yab. You know, let's just say this. Salakia. I feel like it's actually like this. Hold on. So I'm looking at the root word rachayab. Rachayab wa. So what it's saying is has enlarged or have enlarged. The troubles in my heart has grown. Okay, that's what it says right there. The troubles in my heart has grown. Then it says ma taza wak wathya. Ma taza wak wathya. This word right here, the root word is ma taza wakwa. So it's ma taza wakwa. This part right here, it means anguish, anxiety, or stress. So when it's saying right here, it says ma taza wakwathya. We know that again, wath makes it plural, right? Ya makes it mine. So the root word here, we just got to know what the ma means. The ma means out of or from. You see that? Here's a preposition, ma. What character is this? Ma. So it keeps the same rule. What the characters are doing on the outside of the brackets is building the sentence, but it does it in chunks.
Right.
Okay. So what it's saying is from or out of, but we'll say from. Okay. From my, because there's the ya, anguish, anxiety, or stresses. It's not one stress, it's multiple stresses. It's a lot of different factors that are adding to the troubles that are in your heart or mind, right? So now, what you're actually saying, ma taza wak wathya, from ma taza wak wathya. Yeah. Mama Taza Wakwathia. This is some bars right here. This sounds like some lyricism going on. Because when I try to read it, I don't know what the cadence is. But let's try to read that. So it's Tazara Wak.
Tazara Wak.
Lababya.
Lababya.
Harakayabwa.
Harakayabwa.
It almost sounds Native American, right?
Right.
Because it's very similar, right? Harakayabwa. Mama Taza Wakwathia.
Mama Taza Wakwathia.
Hebrew, almost every character rhymes with itself. So the language itself is like constantly a double entendre. So you're going to see a lot of, like, it kind of flows. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, again, the troubles in my mind have grown from my anguish. And any of these, you can change it out, and it means a parallel, exact same thing.
Right.
So you can say, the distress of my heart has enlarged from my anxiety. It means all of these things at the same time. Okay? So it's actually saying your mind, your heart, your health problems come from all of the pressure that you have to deal with, whether it be bills, whether it be underlying health causes, all these different things. It's a lot of different things: anguish, anxiety, and stresses, right? The Most High puts these things on us as punishments.
Right.
So it's in that midst of that fire, we got to learn to allow it to burn, because we know we deserve it, because of the way that we live in this life, not having control, not having our language, not having to have put in the effort, and having family that was raised in the truth to show us a better way of life. Of course, we're going to have all these problems.
Right.
It's just a matter of time, right? And even when we get things right, the Most High will still test us, like He did with Job, right? So it's always going to be relevant for our people, because we're always all going through different things. You know what I'm saying? But not that anybody's particular stress or anxiety is higher than another, but rather the fact that we're all going through is we know that we got a home base, and that's the scriptures, because that's what's going to remind us about how to keep our mind right while we navigate through it, while we go through that storm, right? And how does he finish this verse? It says, go ahead and get that in the KJV real quick. Your call, I want to get that in English. Is Ya Taza'ah. Ya Taza'ah, which is kind of strange because it's like backwards. Taza'ah, Hawa, Taza'ah. It's probably just these two. Appear, begotten, bring out. So it's saying, bring me. Anya. Taza Ya'anya. Taza Ya'anya. I guess that's part of it too.
Yeah, Taza Anya.
Hawa.
Hawa.
That means
Anya.
Yeah. Ha means the, wa means and. So it's kind of like saying the and then this part right here, which means and the. Yeah, but it's saying the and, because Hebrew's like completely backwards, right?
Almost like Yoda talk.
Yeah, Yoda talk. Think about how Yoda talks. That'll help you understand. But it's saying bring me.
Like in Spanish.
Kind of, yeah.
And
Appears.
And
So the word right here, Tazaya'an. Tazaya. Basically, it's this part right here, Tazaya'ah. But Tazaya'an ya means draws to me or appears to me. So now read the KJV.
It's Psalms chapter 25.
Use the mic.
and this appears to me.
Psalms chapter 25, verse 17. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Oh, bring me. Oh, select it. Start from the top. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Oh, bring me. Oh, bring thou me out of my distresses.
Mm-hmm. So he's saying right here, draws to me. So he's saying from. Okay, hold on. So he's saying the troubles of my mind have enlarged out of my. So it's saying from my anguish. So instead of it saying have enlarged from my anguish, think about this as the pause.
Right.
Okay, the struggles of my heart have enlarged. From my anguish appear to me. Or what was the other way that it pronounced it? Draw it out of me. Because this could mean appear, draws to, or brings forth. Yeah.
Right.
So what he's saying is that he's hoping that this is brought away from him.
Right.
That's a prayer. Because he's going through stress from whatever he's going through. And like I said, this is the blues. Psalms is literally like our music that we always make, right?
Right.
I can't think of one Hispanic song that isn't about a bad relationship or something like that.
Right.
It's very rare that it's like a positive song, right? Yeah, exactly.
She let me fall, but,
yeah,
you know, but
she
you
lifted
brought
me
back
up. Yeah, and it's always about that roller coaster ride, right?
Right.
Because it's like you know what they say is they say behind a good verse is pain.
Right.
And sometimes the only thing that people really want to actually express themselves is when they're going through something. It's not as common for people to be happy and want to make a song. Our people are more than often dealing with stress and anguish and different types of things. So that's what they want to rap about.
Right.
They want to, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. So from my anguish, he says, appears to me. Now the way that this is explained in English, because it says bring me. Because this is what it says. Let me read right, because it's in the interlinear version. It says, "Bring me out from." Okay.
Out from.
Yeah. So it says, "Out from anxiety and stress, bring me." That's that Yoda talk.
Right.
That's how now we say Yoda because he speaks backwards, right? He's like, "A Jedi are you," right?
Yeah.
So he's saying, "Out from anguish, bring me." So he's saying this is the stuff I'm going through. Out of that, bring me out of that. Bring me out of that mind state, out of that funk, out of that stress. That's why this is so heavy, because it's one thing to have seen it and read it, but to practice it and to
It
learn.
actually hits harder in the Yoda talk.
Yeah.
I get it. Because English is
It's so backwards.
backwards.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So we're saying it wrong in English. We're speaking wrong in
Yeah,
English.
it's just a different spirit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
English has a different spirit.
All right. Let's get to the next verse. Got a little bit of time here. I want to get verse 18.
Come on, sir.
So it says Ra'ah, which means
Look.
look upon, look on. That's the root word. So the root word means to present or look on or appear. There's a lot of really good synonyms for this, but look on is what it's saying. It says also present or provide. Or provide. That's why a lot of times these scriptures, they mean the exact same thing, but in 2 or 3 different ways at once. Yeah, it's almost like a layered language. When you speak the Holy Tongue, it like gives you a full understanding in one sentence.
Right.
And this is Anya ya, my affliction. The root word here is Anya, which means affliction or misery, depression or misery.
Yo, this is heavy.
So this says my affliction. It says look on or present. Look or present. So I got a lot of definitions. I want to go with ones that stay in context. Look on my depression. Why I'm mal. Yeah. Now this is something that you're gonna notice about this word I'm mal. When you think of the word mal, what does mal mean in Spanish? Bad. This right here says pain. Imal means pain. Imal means pain.
Imal. There's sorrow. There's evil.
It's crazy because you can hear, like, so like if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Like Spanish, the Spanish language has, so like the Spanish language has Arabic roots in it, right?
Yes.
And Arabic has Hebrew roots.
Yeah.
So you can see that now.
You'll see here in a minute.
Yeah, I see it.
So it says present my depression and my pain, or look on my depression and my pain. What is he saying? He's saying analyze. He's praying to the Most High to analyze his misery and his suffering. It's okay for me to use any of these because they all mean the same thing. It's just different ways different flavors of it, right? So it says Ra'ah anya. So like it Ra'ah anya ya wa imalia. Ra'ah ein ya wa ein malya.
Right.
So we say, when you say that, you're saying, analyze my depression and my suffering. It says wa sha'ah. This is a heavy one. So this one is nasha'ah is the root word. Okay. But it says right here, wa sha'ah means wa, and then sha'ah means forgive. And forgive. Okay. Boom. And let me use another word here. And whew, which one do I want to go with? Pardon. Pardon or
Forgive.
oh shit. Burn.
Burn?
Yeah.
Burn. Yo.
Washa'ah. It says and forgive, pardon, or burn.
Okay.
Which means purge.
Right.
Okay. Forgive and pardon. What does that do to you when you're forgiven for something?
When I'm forgiven about
Yeah.
something, it makes you calm.
It's free.
Frees you.
freedom,
Okay.
like
Well,
relief.
how about let's think of it like this. When your body is sick and it attacks it, why does it attack it?
Because it
Trying to get it out.
Trying to purge it, right?
Right.
Get out, yeah.
So you're on fire.
So this word right here, sha'ah,
Sha'ah.
it means forgive and it means burn.
Sha'ah.
Sha'ah. It's not sha'ah. But for this is how it is in the interlinear, so I'm not going to change it. But the root word is not sha'ah. But wa sha'ah says and forgive or burn, and then it says lakal. Lakal is the next word. Lakal, we know that lakal means all. So call is the root word,
Right.
right? La, like when you say la yasha Allah, right?
Right.
That means to Israel,
Call.
to all,
To all. Okay.
to all. So the root word it call means all.
To all my sin. Yeah.
Hata wathya. Hata wathya. Okay, this is the word right here. So this one, I think it's the whole thing. Hata wa hata. This right here. This is it. Kata wathya. We know this means multiple because it says wath, right? We know this is yah, which says my. But what is this word? Kata'a.
Sin.
Exactly. Sin. But sin or offenses
Transgression.
or yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Punishment. No, that's it. So he's saying sins, punishments, my sins.
I put burn. I didn't put I forgive.
Burn all of my
And
offenses.
burn all my sins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds cold.
It's cold. Oh, it's hot.
Cold.
It's not cold. It's hot.
But you know what? That burn all my sins. Because I mean, if he really is spitting some game like this, I wouldn't even. That being said, I wouldn't even use the word forgive or pardon. In the hood, I would just say, man, and burn all this shit away. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's heavy about
And
that?
burn all my sins away.
Because that's what this is doing. The depression is burning you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the Lord punishing you.
That's heavy, bro.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why it says that.
And that's why the scripture says he likes pure gold. Right?
That's why
What-
it's like
he likes what's it?
gold is tried in the fire.
Gold that's tried in the fire.
Right. It's an honorable man in the furnace of adversity or affliction or something like that.
Right.
So that's why he say, analyze my misery and depression and my pain and suffering and burn to all my offenses. Okay.
And burn all my offenses.
And purge them. That's why he's saying that. But the thing is, when you look at it like this, you know that how is it that he's going to forgive you? You have to make that payment.
Right.
That's why it's no different than the law. This is the law.
Right.
God forgiving you is God punishing you. Is God, there has to be a sacrifice. There has to be something that burns. just like in the law.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because in the law, what happens when we sin? We had to make a burnt offering, the peace offering, and the all the different incense and all that stuff. This is yet fulfilling the law also, because what has to be burned was your sins.
Right.
That's what has to happen. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going through this. You see what I'm saying? So that's why this is so heavy, because it's attacking your situation in more than one angle, and it's giving you a new perspective on it that you didn't consider.
Right.
That the suffering is your sacrifice that you're giving to the Most High, because then you learn what? To appreciate the fact that God's punishing you. You learn to appreciate that God is working through you, like the scripture says, for if ye be without chastisement, then ye are not sons, but are bastards.
Right.
So when the Most High is punishing you, he's actually showing you how much he loves you, just like how a father would be righteous to whoop his son for messing up.
Right.
Because the only way, then that son, when he grows up and that son doesn't end up in jail, doesn't end up in the white man's military, doesn't end up, fooled by the system, doesn't end up with a white woman, doesn't end up on crack, or, you know what I'm saying, in dead or in jail, then that's actually the result of the sin being purged from you, because it's burnt out of you.
Right.
And there's nothing left to burn. So that your sins are actually, that's a blessing from the Most High. Now, it starts with the troubles and the distress. The problem is, our people just want to stay in that part because they feel like that's what builds their character. That's what makes them them. No, you're just so used to it, but you're too afraid to fight out of it.
Yo, that part.
Yeah.
That part.
Because we get so caught up in the fact that we're going through it, we'll make music about it and then get rich because we made the song and everyone was like, oh, that song was nice. I feel what you do. And then you still go through the same things, but with money.
Yeah, it ends up dying of an overdose.
You know what I'm saying? You go through the same problem with $1 million than you do when you have $1. Right. But it's the same thing because it's the same mistake either way. It's just whether or not you have an understanding, and like that, what did it say in that book? What did it say in that? At the beginning, it says those who seek that knowledge and look to retain it, because they're trying to break out of this too.
Right.
They're trying to break out of the depression. They're trying to break out of the anxiety. I know what that's like. I had a brother that died, committed suicide. We got a sister that just committed suicide today. There was a woman in Austin, not today.
From us?
Yeah, I'm talking about almost. There was a woman in Austin, 19 years old, fell off the top of a building drunk. 19 years old.
Yo.
Now they're trying to sue A&M and the Hispanic organization because they had some kind of a Hispanic event. She fell off a 17-story apartment building that the event was being taken place on because they served her alcohol and she was only 19. Why is she drinking alcohol? She's trying to find some way out of her stress and her troubles. Mm-hmm. If you go on Facebook and you just look at, or TikTok, and you just look at the stories of like half the chicks that are in your feed, they're either sad or depressed or trying to cover up the fact that they're sad or depressed. They're all depressed. They're all miserable. They're not living their best life. They're not, it's not a hot girl summer or hot girl winter or cold girl winter, right? Hot girl summer, cold girl winter. It's sad girl all year round.
Right.
And here they are thinking it's the new year, and because they didn't have a fancy Christmas with matching pajamas with some goofy man, that they think that they're on the bottom of the world. But the truth is, everybody's going through this, especially right now, because the pressure of this society is that you got to be, about this society and doing the things that everyone else is doing. And like the scripture says, the Most High said he was going to make us jealous with them that are not a people.
Right.
And so you see all the stuff that's going on. And even back then, whatever this brother was going through, he put this on here and he understand that what is he actually saying when he's saying, forgive me to all my sins? He's saying, complete the punishment, please.
Right.
Can this be done yet? Have I served my punishment enough? Because of whatever his sins were. You know what I'm saying? So let's read what we got so far in the Hebrew. I just try to follow with me. It's kind of Tazarawath. Lababya. Harachayabwa. Ma Tazawakwafya. Wathya. Hawatazayanya.
Hawatazayanya.
Ra'ah.
Ra'ah.
Anyaya.
Anyanya.
Wa Imalia.
Wa Amalia.
Wa Sha'ah.
Washa'ah.
Lakal.
Lakal.
Kata Awathya.
Kata Awathya.
Yeah, that's a word to remember.
It's Kata'awat.
Kata Awathya.
Kata'awatya.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's how we say it. And then read that verse, read that in King James, verses 17 and 18.
Come, sir. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 25, verse 17. The troubles of my heart are enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bring thou me out of my distresses.
Mm-hmm.
Look upon mine affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins.
That sounds really tame because it's in English.
No, not really.
No, it's heavy. No, but it could be heavier, right?
It could be. Yeah.
Now read it like this. The troubles of my. I mean, pick whichever one you want because it means the same thing.
The troubles of my heart have enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
Out from anguish, bring me.
Mm-hmm. That's more poetic.
Yeah.
Out from anguish, bring me. Right.
Yeah, it's more poetic.
Go ahead.
Look on my depression and my pain. And burn to all my sins.
There it is. That's the difference between Hebrew and English. Because
that hit hard. That hits hard.
Yeah, it's like
even saying it in English that way.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Even saying it in English that way.
This is a prayer that if you get good at reading this, I'll be impressed. Because some of these characters are really difficult. Ha-ra-cha-yabwa, right? Like you think about like if say one day we're sitting at a powwow around a bunch of Native Americans. Right. And then they start banging the drum. I don't know how to do it. Yeah. You start saying this, they're gonna be like, what? Imagine that moment right there. Imagine they don't even have to they won't even have to know what you're saying and they will feel it. You see what I'm saying? You'd be like, Tazaro wa la bawa ha racha yawa mata. You know what I'm saying? That's the flow right there.
And that's crazy that you mentioned Gad, because Gad, when they be singing, they scream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if our language, this language has some connection, which I think we have already, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Discovered that it does have has connection to this. Man, this is probably either yelled or saying in a deeper, you know what I'm saying or no?
It's like all capital letters.
It's like all filled with like a crying anguish.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably said.
None of these are vowels. That's why there's only like 21 Hebrew characters, because these are not vowels. It's just consonants. What do you know the consonants to be? Consonants are the pinpoints of the word. Right. The vowels are the filler. Right. But the consonants are the oomph of each. That's what all of these are. There's no vowels. That's why it's like taza ra wa, because it's like every single thing. Just naturally, this is what it sounds like, because there's a lot of pronunciation.
That's what I was. Isn't a?
It's not. It's actually not a consonant.
So it's not a vowel.
No, it's the prime. It's the prime word.
Yeah. Is not a.
A is
just a letter.
Yeah. A is a vowel, but we don't say a. Say That's not.
Also, we just use the a for the sake of knowing how to say it, but it's not used as a
vowel. Right.
Yeah.
Because Yiddish, they added vowels later.
They say
we don't have that.
You know when they say, "Okay, I went to the store and bought an apple," but we say and I don't know how you say apple in Hebrew. How do you say apple in Hebrew, sir?
No, let me see.
The apple. Achad.
I don't think it starts with
Achad is a one. You know what I mean? Achad. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
Achad. You know what I mean? It's
a is the spelling of. I get it.
It's not.
Apple is Ayashawan.
Ayashwan.
Ayashwan.
Achad. Achad Ayashwan.
Ayashwan. Damn. It literally means pupil of the eye or middle of the night.
Wow.
Apple,
Mm-hmm.
pupil of the eye.
Pupil.
You're the apple of my eye, right?
Yeah, the Ayashwan.
Ayashwan.
Mm-hmm. Ayash, you call a woman that and be like, "Oh, this is gonna be your Hebrew name, Ayash." I'll call my girl, what's mango or something, some exotic pineapple.
No, apple.
Give her a different fruit name. This is my blueberry.
Ayashwan over there.
Is it Ayashwan or Ayashwan?
Ayashwan.
Oh, Ayashwan.
Mm-hmm.
Ayashwan.
Ayashwan. Yeah, because it comes from the word Ayash. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and get verse 19. We'll finish this here for today. So let me get that. So it starts off Ra'ah, which means consider. Let's bring it home now. So it's got consider. That also can mean discern or advise. Those are that word can mean those different things. Consider, discern, or advise. And it says wa-yab ya. Wa-yabwa. Consider. This right here, ayab, ayawab. That's fine. Ayab is the root word, but ayawab is also fine. This means enemy or foe. / foe. Consider my enemy or foe.
It's like
Ra'ah, awayab, ya. Awayab, ya. Ra'ah, awayab, Ra'ah, awayab, ya. That sounds like I said, it's the powwow talk.
Right.
That helps you catch the flow of the Hebrew better. Start pronouncing it like that. And then, of course, these characters may look like jibber jabber for the most part, but you're going to get it down when you practice it. I'm telling you.
Man, that explains it a lot to me.
Right.
Going back to, see what I'm saying?
Damn, what? All right, hold on. This is
Kaya?
Yeah, so Kaya means 4.
Right.
I think I caught the flow here.
Enemy.
Rabawa.
Man, I can imagine myself already back in the day.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like saying this.
This right here, Rabawa, means many. It also literally means thousands.
Like in a big old waterfall in the water, me saying all this, screaming it out. Right?
There. Think about how that flows though. Ra'ah, awa, yabya. Kaya, rabawa. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It actually sounds like it's more like a psalm. Yeah. Right? Washa na'ath. Washan. Oh, let me get that one. Let me get that one right. The root word here is shana'ah. Shana'ah. So this is wa shana'ath. The root word here is shana'ah. Okay. Wa means and, I believe. Yeah, and with hatred. Damn.
Man, we need some more Gadites over here, man.
Yeah.
Man, that really know
right.
At least one of them.
And with hatred. Now this is the one we were talking about earlier about the Arabic.
Right.
What's this? Hamas. It means cruel or violent. You ever heard of Hamas?
Hamas, the dude?
No, the terrorist group.
Yeah, I thought it was a dude.
The Iranians, they support a group, Hamas, which means zealous.
Right.
In Arabic, that's what they believe that it means, when it really means cruel or violent in Hebrew. So Hamas in Hebrew means cruel or violent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Ishmael. They turn it in. That's what they're zealous about. They're zealous about violence. That's why the scripture says he's a what? A wild man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Hamas. Yes.
Hamas.
That's yeah. I showed my dad that. He was like, "Oh shit, really?" I was like, he was happy to hear because he used to be a heavy Republican, right? So he's seen all that in the news and all that stuff. Hamas. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Hebrew. Hamas. That's how it's pronounced.
Hamas?
It means violent or cruel. And they're like, oh, and when he heard that, he just started laughing. Well, I'm like, that's a breakthrough moment right there. Yeah. So it says, discern or consider my foe, for they are many. They are thousands, and with hatred, cruel, violent. And with hatred and cruel, it says they hate me. That's what this says. The root word here is hate, which shana'ah. Shana'ah, it's right here. Wa na ya. Shana'awanya. That's how that goes. Shana'awanya. One, I'm not sure how that adds to it, but one, it means they hate me. It's no different than when 50 Cent wrote Many Men right here. Wish death on me. Yeah, this is 50 Cent right here, bro. This is ancient 50 Cent, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Ancient Zero.
Whatever it was.
What's some of Zero's Plex songs? He's got a lot of them. He's got a lot of them. I know you know him.
No 3.
M16, I'm reloading my magazine. Yeah, he said, and I will murder every bum club.
Cut the lights out when it's time to shine.
Yeah, they're like
slide.
Yeah.
Around me got me traumatized.
This is heavy though, because it's like, man, I'm stressed out because I got enemies, I got suffering going on, I'm getting attacked from all angles that is messing with my mind, my health, everything. And then on top of that, I'm just asking the Lord to forgive me and show favor to me. Just like how the Maccabees, what did they do? The Maccabees, they went and purged all of Israel of sin before they asked the Lord to help them succeed in taking back the temple. Because it starts with the burning of the sins before you can even consider the Most High removing your enemies from you. That comes first.
Hey, now that you said about like these rappers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I said Mo
got shot, bro.
No, Mo got shot. But what I was trying to say is he was bringing like the Christian choir, turning Christian choir music into rap.
See, and that's the thing. So I want to. This is
the relation I'm trying to make.
This
is Bible.
Because, and that's what's heavy about this. What's heavy about all of this is that we're so quick to look up to artists that don't have the truth, but spit something that sounds like something that our spirit resonates with, when it's actually this.
That's what I'm saying.
It was always this.
I'm trying to say, yep.
And that's what we're trying to tap back into, but with our own language.
Yeah.
I was on a track. Remember, I wrote a track. I was rapping in Hebrew on the track.
Yo, I know.
Remember that? And the way that it flowed, it went. You know what I'm saying? It went. But the thing is, like, imagine if we could become fluent in this. I can't even imagine it right now. But we're just babes. Like the scripture says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. It's a whole nother ball game when you learn in the Hebrew, because then you really are a babe in the scriptures. And now this is all the scriptures that you heard a million times. You hear it in the Hebrew, and it's like it unlocks another underground bunker for you to really, ciphering. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there really is. It's like the scriptures become 3D, and now it's not just a page. It's the page has depth now.
Right.
And you really step into it, and you can extract more wisdom from it because you're reading the Holy Tongue. Right. That's the whole point of this. That's what these classes are for. Israel needs to understand that this is not no light thing. Brother, but I think, if anything, the Hebrew classes get scrolled past, but the Most High is working with ones that want to really get into that, and it's going to unlock something major. Whether you be at camp, whether you be teaching your classes, whether you're just dealing with the day-to-day life and the people around you. I'll tell you right now, there's an aura about it.
Right.
There's an aura about it. Everybody at work knows my name. I don't know anybody's name. You know what I'm saying? There's just a different aura about somebody that really starts to tap into the language of their ancestors, because it's like nothing bothers you at that point. Something might happen in your life, and you'd be like, oh, okay. Or something bad happens to you, you're like, well, the Most High is testing me. I deserve it. Because now the scriptures is overriding all of it, because I've seen my people go through it before, because I'm living this life while understanding the life that our people lived before. And it's the same thing. It's echoing in our time, and now it's your turn to go through it. What are you going to do? Are you going to listen to the things that they said and hold it to heart, or are you going to go and do things your own way? Well, you have a choice, but some of this starts to make more and more sense as we get more lyrics. So we'll probably continue in this chapter in the next class. Well, let's read it one more time, and then we'll end the class, because we're gonna cut it off right there. All right, so Tazarawath. Yeah, just repeat after me, and then we'll read it all at once. Tazarawath. Lababya. Ha-Rakhayabwa. Mama Tazawathya.
Mama
Wathya. Hawa Tazaya Anya. Ra'ah. Anya ya. Wa Imalia. Wa Sha'ah. Lakal. Kata'a Wathya. Ra'ah. Awayabya. Start from the top. Ra'ah. Awayabya. Kaya. Rabawa. Wa Shana'ath. Kamas. Shana'awanya. You know, when we read the prayers in Hebrew, we've read them so much we can kind of start reading them faster. That's why I would love for you to write this down, because you write it down, you screenshot it, you keep it in your phone, you can practice it whenever. And there's gonna come a time where, say you hold on to this class right here, imagine you being able to read it fast enough where someone's like, huh, what'd you say? And then you show them this verse and be like, that's what I said. I literally said that. I said, the troubles of my heart have grown, and from my anxiety bring me out. Analyze my depression and my suffering, and burn all my sins. Discern my foe, for there are thousands, and with hatred and violence they hate me. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? That's the last one, Kodash.
That's right.
Good one, yeah. So with that, this is Isupk. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969, under commanding General Yohana. And we're here to teach the truth of the Bible that so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. And with that, shalom. And clap it up one more time. Do the more than that. I'm gonna have to screenshot.
Yeah, I like that one that you said. You can win the lottery 3 times in a row, and this still would be fixed.
But it's facts, though. You know what I mean?
No,
that's what I'm saying,
crazy, bro. I don't even. Hey,
it's like most minds are not ready to even fathom what this is right here. You know what I'm saying?